Please state your name.
Joseph W. Fenwick.
All right.
Joseph W. Fenwick III.
The third. Okay.
Yeah.
I have some questions about relative to success, so I'm going to say a word. I just want your thoughts on a few different words.
Mm-hmm.
The first word is grit. What do you think of when you think of grit?
Can you explain to me what you're doing?
I'm writing down scriptures from the Bible. So I find particular ones that speak to me, and I write them on index cards. So every morning, this is about 100 of them that I've copied. I'm writing from the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 31. It says, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint."
So, what's this book you're pulling from after the Bible?
So this is a collection of ancient Kemetic sacred texts. This text is important because it shares the ancient teachings that go back thousands of years before any of the Western religions that people are accustomed to today, like Christianity, Islam, Judaism. And many of the ideas that can be found later, thousands of years later, in the Bible.
What I think of when I think of good is I think of many people that I know who are successful. And I also think of myself as not giving up. Sometimes things don't go your way, but if you have grit, you can go through it. You don't quit. You continue working hard.
Can you state your name?
My name is Amari Akua.
What was the name your parents gave you?
Justin Fenwick.
I want your thoughts on a few different words.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of when you think of grit?
Grit was probably my father's favorite word. And it is because that is, if there was one thing he had to have in order to do what he had to do and be who he had to be, was grit. My father lost his mother at a very early age, and then was living with his grandmother. His grandmother passed, and then he went to live with his aunt and uncle. Much of his life, all of his life, he had to make a way for himself. But he talked about growing up in a place in Washington, D.C. called
Kingman Park, which is 24th Street, 25th Street, 23rd Street. The area was a area where everybody worked at something. We even had a golf course nearby. And I went to the best schools in the city.
And so, my dad talks about times where when he was in medical school, he would go to Chicago to work during the summers to provide for my mother and my sister and brothers. This is before I was born. He drove a bus during the summers when he first started driving a bus for public transportation in Chicago. He didn't know the route very well because he had just learned it, but he was driving so slow that the next bus had caught up to him. And it was a white bus driver, and he got out of the bus, and the bus driver started fussing at him. And as he describes it, one thing led to another.
I don't know if I hit him or not, or he hit me first. But we got in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, some people in the bars threw stones at me, and I was fired, but he kept his job.
Mm-hmm. So how did you maintain your composure in the midst of that, in terms of pushing through?
I ain't maintaining. I'm mad.
You can say what you want to say. This is ours.
I'm mad as hell about it.
Right.
And I say, this ain't gonna defeat me.
Mm.
Yeah, I said, this not gonna defeat me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get up and brush off the mud and the dirt on me and being wet, and I'm gonna keep going.
Mm-hmm. When he saw you struggling, he liked to see you struggle, because he knew, as I often say now, that struggle produces strength. And so when you've been through some things and the trials and tribulations of life come, you're now rooted and grounded and strong enough to withstand that, where other people may crack under the pressure.
You told me that at Papa Joe's funeral, you felt at peace when you saw his body, because it made you realize that we aren't just our bodies. Can you recount that experience and elaborate on it for me?
In the biblical scriptures, it says, O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The grave had no victory, because now his spirit is set free. He's gone on to the next iteration, the next evolution of his spiritual journey. That is the spirit that animates the body. So as I looked at his body, it was his body, but it wasn't him, any more than this body is not me. I'm so much more than this. You're so much more than your body. We are not bound by time and space. The only bounds is the level of consciousness that we have. So in some African spiritual traditions and culture, they say we are actually the ancestors reborn. If you can hand me that copy of my book, there's a quote that I'd like to read.
Your book?
African Origins of Our Faith. Well, it's not my quote. To be clear, it's not my quote. It's in that book.
Go ahead and show the cover.
I'm not going to show the cover because it's not. That's
because I did the cover, so go ahead and show the cover.
Wow. So this is about you then. This is not about me. It's not about you.
Of course.
And your cover, however. No, but this is probably my favorite. This is my favorite ancient Kemetic prayer. May I rise like a living force of nature, shining forth light like the divine powers of heaven. May I ascend in the presence of the beneficent one. May I assume whatever form I want, in whatever place my spirit wishes to be. For libation for my parents, Dr. Joseph W. Fenwick III, Ashe, and my mother, Glenda Faye Fenwick, Ashe. And for the continuation of our family line that goes back generations and millennia, back to eternity and forward for many generations, millennia, unto eternity. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo.
You may have ups and downs. You may have thorns in your back. You may look at things and say, boy, this is going to be hard. Can I ever finish this? It looks like everybody's against me. But what you do is to look forward and keep moving forward and brush off all the other things that would hold you back. That's my advice.